Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the next episode of Dan and Northern Lion Plays Hearthstone Badly. Ryan, what's going on?
She just opened another legendary.
That one didn't pop up. Was that her?
She probably removed you from her friends list because she doesn't want you to know.
No, she did. So Kate's been opening up packs for no more than 5 minutes, and was this her fourth one?
That's her fifth legendary in like 25 packs.
5 legendaries a day for 3 songs.
And they're actually good. She got Kazakus and then Kun the Forgotten King.
So you're playing on the inside. You said she was opening 40 packs.
Right, yeah.
And she got 5 out of 40. That's got to be like record open rates.
It's pretty ridiculous. Like, I hope she's recording it because people on YouTube are like not gonna believe it.
It's real. I'm telling you, it's real.
There we go.
All right, cool. So we're doing a little Tavern Brawl action. You want to try to explain what the Tavern Brawl?
I don't actually understand it. So it's like, it's completely perfectly curved. So on turn 1, you'll draw a 1 mana card. On turn 2, you'll draw a 2 mana card, etc., etc. But then it says, like, if you have them. And like, what the heck am I supposed to do with these dang mulligans, dude? This doesn't help me out at all.
So really, the perfect mulligan would be 1, 2, 3, right?
I don't even know, because like you're guaranteed to draw a 1 mana card on your first turn if you have a 1 mana card.
Oh, this is like meta on top of meta on top of meta.
Yeah, I actually just do not understand this, but
do you think someone could build like the ultimate deck?
I guarantee someone could build the ultimate deck. What does that mean? I got no idea. I hope I build the ultimate deck, even though I don't even really understand what it does.
You know, I went a little sly and sneaky on this one. Ooh.
Oh, there's this synergy there. Except, thankfully, the Wisp is not a beast. So Dan, check this out.
Don't eat.
I spent 800 dust crafting these cards right here. Renounce Darkness. That did not work the way I thought it would.
Replace your hero power and what?
I'm a priest now.
No, you're not. You're married. Well, excuse me, priests can be married. I know that. I was just referring to a specific religion that we're going to get off the topic now before we trigger anyone.
Sure,
Anyways.
okay.
All right. So you can play whatever you want. You're just going to get dealt a 3. You're going to get dealt a 2-banger next one.
I think so. I didn't think that was going to work the way that I thought it did. I was holding 3 1-mana cards. So if you look at the text for Renounce Darkness,
yeah.
Which, by the way, look at all the effects of Renounce Darkness after you mouse over it.
Okay, replace your hero power with Warlock cards, and Warlock cards with another class. The cards cost 1 less.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
So what ended up happening that didn't happen that you thought was going to happen?
Well, I had a bunch of 1-mana cards in my hand. I thought those would become 0 mana, and then I would just fucking dice you. I put out like 4 0-mana cards on turn 1 and just ruin your life. But
it didn't happen?
It did not happen, unfortunately.
Oh, that's pretty smart, Ryan. I'll give you credit.
It was sneaky. Smart, I don't know, but sneaky. Now I got no dang idea what's even happening here. But every card in my... So I'm going to draw a 3-mana card that costs 2 mana next turn, because they're all 1 mana cheaper, which is weird, but...
So you didn't get totally screwed. It just wasn't the ideal setup that you wanted.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I think, at least. I don't know. It's very strange, I'll give you that.
Are you afraid of the
Spawn of Shadows. Ooh, that could get interesting. Because you're healing, so it's like a -2 for you, really.
Yeah. Basically, when if I use my hero power on myself, it's almost like I used your hero power. But
okay.
I gotta be honest, we're like through the looking glass now. I can't believe I labored so much and built a 30-card deck when I really should have just built like a 2-card deck and then had it autofill everything else, because you're guaranteed to get you're guaranteed to draw that card on turn 2.
That's the second time. I think you may have Skyped it or something where you said through the looking glass. I don't know what that means.
I think it's from like JFK. The movie JFK.
Like, is he talking about the sniper lens, or what is he talking about?
I don't know. I think it's like an Alice in Wonderland thing, you know, where like she goes through the looking glass. You know when she goes through the looking glass.
No, I don't.
I
I
don't know.
don't think I've watched that movie because isn't it like super trippy?
You've never seen Alice in Wonderland.
The Disney movie?
I mean, I don't really like Alice in Wonderland as a story that much, but it's a seminal piece of Western media.
Okay, first off, I don't want to get lost down your rabbit hole, Ryan. What does seminal mean? Like
it's essential.
But Seminole, like Florida State Seminoles?
No, like from the seminal vesicles of a man's reproductive organs. You know, it means that things come after it.
Seminole? I thought that was vas deferens.
I mean, there's a vas deferens down there as well. But there's a vast difference from what we're talking about and what I'm meant to be talking about.
All right, so through the looking glass, what does she turn into, like a mushroom or something?
It's something like that.
Isn't that movie like analogy for drugs?
I believe that you are probably correct, yes.
Or is that just, you're just...
No, I think you got it, honestly. Hey, Dan, check this out. Does it look familiar?
Hey, you can't use my beasts against me.
I even got synergy out of it. Thanks for the gold, boys. The Timberwolf, look at that. Gold Timberwolf. It's even got the hay was whipping up next to it. Oh, well, now it's gone forever.
He's got your buddy in hand. Okay, so tell me, those are brass knuckles, right?
Yes.
Because people in the comments are like, no, those aren't brass knuckles.
How could those not be brass knuckles?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Maybe, maybe
like
they're
a paw?
knuckle dusters or something.
Are those illegal in Canada?
I believe so, yeah.
Have you ever owned a pair?
If I ever owned a pair of brass knuckles?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, here's a real question. That wasn't a real question.
Okay.
Have you ever punched someone in the head?
I don't believe so, no.
That's not true.
I don't think I have, man.
You never punched like Melf in the head when he was doing Melf stuff to you?
Oh, you know, actually I did. I got into a fight with one of my friends once, but I don't really remember why. And then, you know, this was in the country, so his mom was just like, hey, don't do that. And we were like, yeah, that's a good point.
What do you mean it was in that country?
Well, I mean, like, I grew up in the country, like the rural, you know, red state Canada.
You did?
Of
I thought you were
course.
like a suburb guy. You're like quintessential suburb guy.
What is that? That's almost an insult, isn't it?
Well, like, I mean, because you're well versed in...
Yeah.
I don't picture you. So did you grow up on a farm?
No, but I grew up next to a farm.
Did you grow up on like a plot of land?
We had like 3 or 4 acres or something, yeah.
What?
It was not huge, but it's huge by city purposes.
Yeah, but it's not like you're on 0.025 acres, which is like the standard, you know, home size.
Yeah.
So did you have like animals and stuff?
We had 2 cats.
You'd have like a billy goat running around?
No, we didn't live on a farm, Dan.
But 4 acres, what do you do with 4 acres? Did you have like juniper trees or something?
I was just like, it was overgrown down there, man.
I'm not going to touch that one, but did you have to maintain it?
Someone had to maintain it, but I didn't have to maintain it.
Like your parents were
There's
like,
nothing down this rabbit hole, honestly. It's just
No, but like they weren't like, Ryan, hop on the John Deere and do the old cut.
No, man, but we, you know, it was very country-esque. We had a big pile of gravel on our front yard. Sometimes people would drive up, knock on our door, and be like, "Hey, I need some gravel. Can I take some of your gravel?" And we'd be like, "Hell yeah, dude! Shovel it into the back of your truck. You need some help? Take our." And if you've never lived in the country, dirt and gravel are like a prized resource. You'll just find piles of it on people's lawns, and then you just go up, and they'll be like, "Yeah, it's like, you know, $10 a kilo or something."
Wait, what were you where did the initial gravel come from?
I don't know, man. It's just, where does anything come from? It's all
So you're
just.
saying one day you wake up and there's a pile of gravel on your driveway?
Well, no, it's like, you know, it's just there in the earth.
I know, but it doesn't just rise up like a
Kenya.
souffle.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Were you digging up in the backyard looking for the Goonies' buried treasure and gravel?
I'm just saying, man. Yo, I'm just saying. Okay, check this out. I finally get a chance to use the card with like the worst name in the game.
The gravel hauler.
It's Mayor Nogginfogger.
I'll tell you. You want to know the best part about that card?
What?
Did you hear his entrance music?
He went, "Wah, wah, wah." It's like, you know, whenever you play like a big minion, it goes like dong 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 dong. But this guy was like, it's like he tripped over his own shoes on the way into the building.
Wait, you're not gonna get away with this gravel.
What, dude? I don't know. You're like eight years old. You got gravel on your front lawn. It's just always been there. It's like the rocks and the earth.
But did you like fill it because of a water table in the area? Or
I
something?
have no idea where the gravel came from. Sometime, you know, maybe somebody came by and was like, "Hey, can I leave this gravel here?"
And then you just let people dump it.
And then you give it back to. It's a take a penny, leave a penny jar, but with tiny little rocks.
I've never heard that.
Uh oh.
Oh, no.
Uh oh. Uh oh. I really needed that card. Come on. Oh, what?
So did you grow up in like, were you like a one streetlight kind of town where you grew up?
I grew up, like the closest house was almost a mile away on either side.
So what did you do?
Read like a lot. Did like
so
a
you
lot
did-
of reading.
You didn't play with like neighborhood kids. 'Cause
I
there
did.
weren't
That's how I got in the fight, dude.
Yeah, but what would you do? Hitchhike to their house?
You ride your bike.
A mile?
Yeah, that's what do you? It's not that far.
For a little kid, it is.
It's well, it was like 10. You just get on your bike. It's like a 5-minute bike ride. I go 1 kilometer.
So you did a lot. So you lived in isolation. You did a lot of reading.
I lived in Iceland, and I read a lot about the water table and, you know, the sale price for commodities such as gravel.
Oh no, I don't want to misplay this. Almost misplayed it, boys.
I was gonna say, you can still roast it here.
All right, boys. So, okay, that's just blows my mind. I just didn't picture you as a rural kid. Like, I knew you have like a genetic history of like.
What
being
is
a
that? Okay,
baker.
what is a genetic history?
Like in your family lineage, you once told me that your Eternals are known for being great bakers.
Okay, sure.
Is that not a true statement?
I would say probably not, but I understand where you're coming from.
So I'm just gonna ask a blanket question without specifics.
Sure.
There's no one in your family lineage that makes great bread.
There is a person in my family lineage who makes great bread. The way you phrase that, it sounds like it's code for a drug deal now. No. It's like, yeah, dude, I know someone who makes great bread. Don't even sweat it.
You're the one talking about selling kilos out of your driveway.
It's gravel, man.
I can't believe that. So you have a pile of gravel. Would you climb on it? Was it used for
No, you don't.
entertainment?
Would you climb on a pile of gravel if you saw it?
If I was a little kid, I would.
Actually, we did oftentimes.
I think this is it.
There's nothing worse than like a gravel, like, have you ever scraped your leg on gravel? Like the tiny rocks get under your skin and you're like, this is horrible.
Yeah, and they get stuck in like the open wound.
Yeah. You gotta like dig it out.
So at one point, if you were to go home now, so you go home for the holidays, is there
Yeah.
a pile of gravel at your house?
No, like we wised up after like 10 years. We're like, this is silly. Nobody should be living around this much gravel.
So
And then I moved. I spent like 3 of my teenage years in the suburbs, and then I went to college.
Wait, this is my last gravel question.
Okay.
So I just need to get a visual of it. Are we
Okay.
talking like you take like an F-150, fill it up with gravel, and dump it on your driveway? Or are we talking like a mound?
I would describe it as maybe being 10 feet high. But I was also like 4 feet high then, so I don't really know, but
No one man should have all that gravel.
I know that's why people wanted to take it. They're like, that's a ridiculous amount of. We never used it for anything.
I feel like I'm not getting the whole story here.
Well, I feel like I'm giving it to you, but you need to accept at face value that there was just the gravel there. I was not an adult. I was not involved in the acquisition of said gravel. I wish that I were.
Did you ever ask your parents, say, "Hey, Ma,
What's up?
why
with
do we
all
have
the
all this gravel?"
No, we lived with my grandparents and my parents, and that was my grandparents' domain.
Well, did you ever ask your grandparents why they had that gravel?
No, I was just stoked.
Is it a status symbol in your small community?
Yeah, it's like whoever has the most gravel is like. When we arranged our marriages, you know, in 8th grade, it was really good for us. Oh my, what?
I mean, I'm still like, I'll let lying dogs lie. That's not the saying. Sleeping dogs lie.
You got
but
it.
I mean, I just hope that at one day, before it's all said and done, you tell me the real reason why you had a mound of it.
I don't understand the gravel any more than anybody else, okay? All I know is that it's always been there. It's probably still there to this day.
Yeah, but you're not the kind of guy to walk past something that's been there for a lifetime. You're always like, oh, why is this here? I don't understand it.
That's a good point. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. Take a drive out in the Canadian country sometimes. These Pontiac Sunfires sitting on people's lawns and just big piles of gravel everywhere.
What if you were to direct me to a rural suburb similar to yours? Which Ontario suburb would I visit?
Yeah, this isn't where I grew up, but you should visit like Sterling, Ontario.
Okay. We're getting closer, boys. We're getting closer. I was playing Elite Danger with Barry yesterday, and he wouldn't tell me the name of his suburb that he lived in.
That he lives in now?
Yeah.
You should actually take like great offense to that. 'Cause I know where he lives.
I mean, I know he lives in Seattle, but not Seattle proper.
I'm not telling you. I mean, this is, you start down the ladder of giving out a little bit of information, and then you feel compelled to give out all the information. If Bear doesn't want me to tell you, I'm not going to tell you.
Did he give it to you on a recording?
Look, no, this is the end of this line of questioning. I know your game, Dan Gheesling.
Oh man, I didn't take offense to it. I took more of it as like he's protecting his digital identity.
I think that's fair. I mean, I have never. It's not like you've ever released my home address or anything, so.
Or your cell phone.
Or yeah, although the one time I thought we were kind of close, but I think that was the point.
All right, what do you got? Some good cards here,
dude. I don't know. I really did not realize when I put Renounce Darkness in my deck that I would not know any of the cards that I have. It's like all of my Warlock cards get replaced by cards that are not Warlock cards. So now I'm a warrior.
You are a warrior.
Gravel warrior. You wait, where did you grow up? Do you have like, you didn't have gravel everywhere? Or did you grow up like around 8 Mile?
No, I didn't grow up around 8 Mile. We had gravel like on our playground.
Yeah,
but
that's like,
but you could,
we had that too.
But you could touch, like, where I grew up, you could touch the person's house next door.
Okay, yeah.
Like, almost. If you were, like, did a full wingspan, you could almost do that. But that was normal life. I just can't imagine. Like, so if you wanted to go outside,
yeah,
would your parents let you go outside, or would...
Yeah, it was like, you know, you can go as far as, like... There was, like, a major road that was 6 kilometers away. Well, major for, like, where we lived. That was 6 kilometers away from the house. And they're like, just don't go past that. So I had, like, a 6-kilo radius around me.
Why was that the radius?
Because once you get to that road, there's actually traffic. Whereas on the on the road that leads to that road, you might see, like, you know, 2 cars an hour or something.
So, but you'd be out there by yourself?
Yeah, man.
So, like, is that...
It's like, a statistical fact that nothing bad has ever happened to anybody in the country. Name one bad thing that's ever happened to somebody in the country. You can't.
That's pretty true. Well, I mean, we could go down the Rob Ford, but he did that to himself. But I guess my question for you is, would you just talk to yourself? Like, what do you do?
What do you know? You listen to the radio, man.
Like, did you have a Walkman?
Of course. Walkman, Discman doesn't do too well on the gravel roads, though. It skips a little bit, but...
So you'd walk out in your backyard where the overbrush is with your Walkman and just hang out?
I was riding my bike, man.
Did you have an off-road bike?
Yeah, you got to in those day and age. You know, you got gravel roads and just freaking tundra, gravel everywhere. My childhood was largely dominated by gravel. In case this is not clear.
I'm just like, honestly, there's few things that you could tell me that I'd be shocked about.
Okay.
But the fact that you grew up in like farm town is one of them. So was your graduating class like 12?
What is this card? My graduating class was 80, or like 85, but it pulled people from all over the surrounding area. Like, it's one of those schools that like kind of falls in the middle of everywhere else. So we got like the kids that didn't fit in any other school district. Have you seen the film The Longest Yard?
I have not. Is that with Burt Reynolds?
I'm just making a joke anyway.
Oh.
The original does have Burt Reynolds in it though.
Well, didn't they redo it?
Yeah, with Adam Sandler. The modern era's Burt Reynolds.
So, what was your grade school like? Graduating class of 10?
Nah, it was probably like 50.
Okay.
It was like two full 8th grade classes, maybe.
Would you ride the bus?
Of course.
So would the bus ride like take 2 hours to pick everyone up?
It took a long ass time, man. Like, it was like a status symbol. It's like, oh, you get picked up by the bus like 20th. That means your ride to school is only like 15 minutes. If you get picked up by the bus first, you gotta wake up at like 4:30 in the morning.
That's no joke.
It's a slight exaggeration, but it's you get the idea.
Grandmash Hellscream.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because I didn't put these cards in the deck. They just sort of showed up, you know?
So, you know, there's like... So, I didn't have any 8-drop cards.
Yeah.
I had to craft 2. There's not very many 8-drop cards.
Yeah, I think we both used Eldritch Horror.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still chasing that King Crush dream, right?
I don't have it. That's to me, like... Ryan and I were joking about it. Like, I really want King Crush. And he's like, oh, dude, in the current meta, it's not really that good.
What is
it? No one ever plays it?
Well, I mean, it may one day be played. It's just that the Hunter had better cards at 8 mana. Like, instead of playing King Crush, you could play Call of the Wild, which is like 3 pretty good beasts would come out. One of them has charge, one of them buffs other minions. So it's like I'd never play King Crush, but... Maybe now. Maybe the time is right.
I don't know how you don't like King Crush. It's fast, it's quick.
It does its job.
It does its job.
It's folded, it's tempered, and it does its job.
Yeah, I don't want to go back down this wormhole, but have you ever visualized what his final seconds may have looked like?
I don't want to go down this wormhole, but in the moment of him dying, what do you think he was thinking about? That's basically what you did to me right there.
No, basically I'm saying like say you had a high-end drone filming it.
Right. And wait, are you asking me if there's some kind of ethical argument, like maybe I should call the police or something instead of filming this poor man dying?
No, I'm saying, do you think it was cinematic in the way in which, you know, things came to a close on that story?
I mean, I hope so for his sake. You know, it seems like I don't feel comfortable talking.
All right, we could
Let's go back to the gravel pit, man.
We can, but I still think now. You know what? Here's my line of thinking now. That's Gabe calling. Hang on. My line of thinking is,
hey Dan, it's Julie. Would you want to come back next summer?
No. Come on.
Hey Dan, it's Wes Moonves. CBS is in a rating slump. We need you.
So let me just put an end cap on this gravel talk. So my line of thinking is that your elder grandparents had gravel for a reason.
Yeah.
And you probably never knew because the Letourneau family is an organized crime family.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the rural
You bury them in gravel?
Yes.
It's like the worst. It's like just a collection of tiny loose rocks. You're just asking for the bodies to be found.
Haven't you ever seen episode 3 of Breaking Bad?
I have.
Don't you know what Jesse and Walt do to the body in the bathtub?
They dissolve it, but they don't dissolve it in gravel. They use acid. I was wondering what this guy was talking about.
Speaking of acid, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Dan, you got beat by a deck that doesn't even exist. Like when you play this card, it just makes a new deck out of nothing.
Yeah, what do you... Okay, out of 5 eggs, what do you rate this Tavern Brawl?
Like a fucking 0.
0 eggs. Okay,
Well,
the
I like it. I like it better than last week's.
last week was what?
Last week was like a -3 because every time you played a card, that panda lady would come up and be like, "You'll never get my jade lotuses," and then like the other guy would be like, "What's a lotus? Shut up, you nincompoop!" Was like, I don't need that. We can do our own banter. I don't need them to do that. Death Rattle Brawl was like a 3 though.
Okay, so that's set the bar. So that was a 3. You said this was a negative.
This is a 0. I'll give this a 0 right now.
Okay. I agree. I'd say that I like the double death rattle. For me, I'm a simple Tavern Brawl guy. Just give me something cheap and easy, and I'll take it.
Yeah, double Death Rattle. You go into your deck builder, you type in Death Rattle, and then you grab the loot hoarders and move on.
And speaking of moving on, in our next episode, we got a couple doozies for you because we're doing some homemade crafting. Some might say homemade bread baking in terms of the themes we're gonna do. But you guys will see that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. When do we post?
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Yeah.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So we'll see you guys Saturday.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, check out the other person's perspective so you can see how bad their deck was. And we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Later.